What's up, everybody? Today, I'm going to be going over the blueprint that you need to successfully reach your goals. This is going to be like a 5-step process of how you should act and what you should do to successfully reach your goals in life. A lot of this may be, person dependent, but this is just kind of like my way of seeing things out and develop a plan and outline of how to reach your goals. If you don't know who I am, my name is Luke McLeod. I'm the creator of Mongoose Mindset, and I started my fitness journey at an age of 12 years old, which through my ignorance of not knowing how to do it, I developed an eating disorder. And I came out of that. I started doing sports again. I've done JROTC in high school. I moved to Louisville, Kentucky to train and ultimately become a professional wrestler. And then after I moved on from that, I've been doing bodybuilding style training ever since, and now I want to share my knowledge and help people out there who want to do the same. So let's get right into it. So step 1, you need to actually figure out what you want to actually accomplish. Most people, they start off with like a vague goal, like I want to lose fat, I want to get healthier, I want to get in better shape, I want to do this, I want to do that. But you really need to start to develop more specific goals, because those specific goals will help guide you in the right direction that you need to go. So let's start out with like a specific goal. Say, I don't know, Bob wants to lose 20 pounds in 3 months. That's a specific goal because it's a specific number that you want to hit. You want to lose 20 pounds and a specific number in a time frame that you want to lose that body fat in. So 3 months. And when you're making these, you want to make sure these goals are actually attainable. Don't say, "Oh, I want to lose 50 pounds in a month," because that is not possible. You don't lose 50 pounds of fat in a month. You might lose a lot of water weight in a week when you first initially go on a diet, but you're not going to lose a bunch of fat that quickly. You want to set reasonable goals. The second step would be initial planning. You don't want to spend a ton of time in initial planning, because if you spend a ton of time in it, you'll never act on it. And things that you want to initially start to develop and plan is like, if you don't know anything about lifting weights or exercising or nutrition or anything like that, you want to do some initial research on like what you should be eating, things that you can incorporate in your diet, where you should start training. Don't go online and copy and paste some athlete's diet or training plan, because almost 100% of the time that will never work, because what a professional athlete is doing is not where you should start, because you're both at way different levels. He's up here at the upper echelon of athleticism, and you're down here at the starting point. So you don't want to start up here. You want to start down here and work your way up slowly, which that'll take a lot of time, especially become like a professional athlete level. But yeah, do that initial planning, kind of set up a diet, set up a reasonable training plan. You don't have to do crazy workouts, 3-4 hours long, especially when you're first starting, because just doing a little bit will go a long way, because your body's not used to it. And then also you can look into hiring a coach to help you, because like with anything in life, most of the time you get a coach for something. When you were playing soccer, when you were little and learning how to play soccer, you didn't learn to do that stuff by yourself. You were coached by a coach who had done that before. So a lot of the times it's good to get that help from somebody who has that experience, because not only will they initially put you in the right direction, but they can prevent you from doing all the mistakes that they did in life. Just like me, I made many mistakes in my fitness journey that led me down paths that, nearly almost killed me, like having an eating disorder. So I want to help people not make those same mistakes that I did. So, if you're interested in coaching, you can reach out to me. and we can develop a plan, and I can help you and guide you through that. The point of the day is just for you to set up these initial goals and planning. Step 3, you actually want to act on this plan. Because if you continue to research and just look up new ways to do things 24/7, you're not going to get anywhere because you're not acting on what you're putting in motion through the research. So do initial research, yes, but don't dwell on it and just keep researching and think that there's going to be some perfect plan that you're going to come across, because almost any plan you come across is never going to be perfect, because everybody's body is different, everybody's metabolism is different, everybody has a different height, a different weight, a different starting point, genetics, everything plays a role. So you can't just copy and paste somebody else's plan. So step 4, while you're acting, you want to consistently track your progress and data. And especially when you set goals, you want to make sure these goals are trackable, that you can actually track your data and see if you're improving or if you're not getting anywhere with your progress. You can track this by using a spreadsheet, like writing stuff down, like your weight, how many calories you ate each day, how much sleep you got. You can write down all your meals. You can write down like what you did training wise, and all these factors. When you're first starting, you want to be consistent as possible, because if you're doing a bunch of random stuff, then that's going to throw out random outcomes. So be consistent, so when you try it, hey, for a week or two and you haven't lost any weight, something needs to change. And if you keep everything basically the same, once you change something, you'll most likely see a result. For example, if you're not losing weight in a week or two, which a lot of times when you start a diet, especially after you've been eating a bunch of junk and just you eat all clean foods that doesn't have a bunch of salt and preservatives and stuff in it, you'll drop a ton of weight, but all that's basically water in your first week, so you don't really look at that as a big metric. But then you should slowly be losing weight after that still. If you don't know how much you're weighing, and if you don't know how much you're eating, then you can't make changes to continue to progress. So that's where tracking stuff comes really, really important. And I'm not saying you have to go out to a hospital each week or each month and get a DEXA scan done to see how much fat mass and muscle mass you have, because a lot of times those throw off variance too, just based off of how much water you have in you and everything like that. Just do the simple things: track the calories, the training, sleep. You don't, like I said, you don't have to track every single thing down to the T, but the more you track, the more accurate your information will be, the more accurate your results will be. For calories, I would track on like Cronometer, because if you use like MyFitnessPal, then you get a lot of information and stuff put in the database that people have just put in themselves. But with Cronometer, it's put in by like the USDA and the Canadian Health Association and a few others that are like legit. It's not like just random stuff. And like the calories may be off like a little bit, but as long as you're eating the same amounts each day, like weighing it out or measuring it out, it's all the same thing at the end of the day. You just adjust based on needed. So that leads me to the 5th step, is after you have gone through the time frame of your goal. So in this case, Bob's goal was to lose 20 pounds in 3 months. After that 3 months is up, what happened? Did you meet your goal? Did you come close to it? Or did you not meet it at all? This gives you data on how you should go about creating your next goal. What should that look like? Did I shoot myself in the foot and not give me enough time? Did I do it too fast and I lose a bunch of muscle mass? And all of this can be determined by all that data you tracked before. So you really want to assess your data at the end of the time frame that your goal is, and then adjust those values based off of your data. If you didn't meet your goals, don't be frustrated, because at the end of the day, we always usually have more time. I mean, unless you die, but most likely if you're healthy and you're continuing to work out and improve, you're not really gonna die, as long as you don't have like a chronic disease or something like that, like cancer. Obesity can be a chronic disease, so that's really important to get all that excess fat off, because that can kill you just as fast as like cancer or something, and probably even faster than that. But like I said, don't be frustrated, because truly at the end of the day, if you want something, if you really want it, if you really want this goal, you will do anything to achieve that goal. And if it takes a little bit more time, that's all right, because at the end of the day, everybody who's gone after goals in their life, they don't get it their first time. And that's almost the good thing about goals, is because it motivates you to do better and change something to achieve those goals that you want in life. Because if you're not getting where you want to be now, something has to change. It may not be like a big drastic change, like I need to move here, I need to cut all these people out, do all this, do all that, but it needs to be some sort of change that your body notices it and it's able to adapt. So at the end of the day, don't obsess over the destination of where you want to be. Really just love the process, and love the process of getting there, because it's going to take time. It's not going to come overnight. So I hope you got something from this video today. If you need help getting to your goals and creating goals and learning how to develop and track and assess to figure out what you need to do next, you could reach out to me at mongoosemindset01@gmail.com, and I can help you with that through my lifestyle implementation coaching. Or you can just keep researching and developing your own skills, because ultimately I don't have a lot of experience in doing this for other people. I give people advice all the time in the gym and help people out. But if you need my help, reach out to me. I can give you a month free on me, and we can go from there, depending on how you like me and if you see this as a good change. If you're interested in some things that can help improve your mindset to reach your goals, watch this video over here in my Mongoose Mindset podcast, the last one I did, because I explain the 5 things that are holding most people back in life and can really help them get further from a mindset perspective wise, and just in controlling your environment. So like always, thank you for watching. Act now, evolve forever. Bye.